Coming up tonight on the news at 6. The U.S. Supreme Court will not hear a lawsuit brought by Texas challenging millions of votes cast in 4 battleground states. Plus, the new National Suicide Prevention Lifeline will change the way you make local calls.
From Montana's news leader, this is MTN News at 6.
Good evening. Welcome to the news at 6. I'm Marian Davidson. Thanks for joining us. State and locally reported data shows Montana's COVID-19 case total has topped 72,000. More than 10,000 of those are active cases. 831 Montanans have died as a result of complications with the virus. MTN uses numbers from local county health departments and state figures to deliver the most accurate count on cases each day because local county health departments may be alerted to cases before Montana DPHHS. And frontline healthcare workers and residents of long-term care facilities could start getting vaccinated against COVID-19 next week. It all hinges on FDA approval of Pfizer's vaccine candidate, which could come as early as today. But as case numbers and deaths soar across the country, health experts say it will not be an overnight fix. Sarah Daloff has the story.
With the country's first COVID-19 vaccine likely just days, even hours from approval, anticipation is building.
Feels like a race to the finish line now. We have to get the vaccine out to enough people to prevent any more deaths.
The FDA saying in a statement it will rapidly work toward finalization and issuance of an emergency use authorization.
We do have a favorable vote.
A day after an agency advisory panel voted in favor of granting it. Once approved, UPS and FedEx planes and trucks will mobilize. Pfizer, the vaccine's manufacturer, plans to ship around 2.9 million doses in the first weeks. A painstaking process requiring storage at sub-zero temperatures.
This is the light at the tunnel and really are out of this pandemic.
But widespread distribution is months away, and the coming weeks are projected to be among the most dangerous and deadly. New York once again banning indoor dining in hopes of slowing the spread.
The journey isn't over. It's not really going to be over until the summer and we hit critical mass with the vaccination.
As the country sets new heartbreaking records. More than 3,100 U.S. lives lost Thursday, the most in a single day since the start of the pandemic. Sarah Daloff, NBC News.
While healthcare workers are spending countless hours treating COVID-19 patients, others are trying to find ways to support them and brighten their spirits. A woman in Nebraska created a Facebook page called Adopt a Nurse or Healthcare Worker. In less than 3 weeks, it grew to more than 11,000 members who have sent thousands of gifts to workers and their families. And that Facebook group is not alone. Other hospitals across the country have reported getting deliveries of food from local businesses. All right, and Andy Curtis is in tonight for Curtis Grevenitz and gives us a first look at the weekend weather.
That's right. A little bit of snow out there right now across the state. And I mean a little bit, not a lot mounting on the ground, and it really won't for the rest of the weekend. Most of the snow that we will expect to see is out there right now. It'll last a little bit farther into tonight and stick around tomorrow morning just a little bit, but Saturday and Sunday actually are looking pretty calm and uneventful. That is, with an exception though, we have to pay attention to this winter weather advisory for a good chunk of our viewing area. Lewistown, Havre, of course, Great Falls, Cutbank, even down into Helena. Everybody's under it until tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning. And that coincides with the length of time that we're expecting to see the snow falling in this part of the state. So really, this doesn't mean we're expecting any kind of blizzard, but with that snowfall out there right now, could make roads slick, some freezing fog potentially in areas because the temperature will be dropping tonight, and poor driving conditions, of course. That snow could be covering some ice or anything on the road. So please be careful and pay attention if you're driving any distance tonight or tomorrow morning. So yeah, just that, there's your reminder. That's what snow looks like. We haven't seen it around here in a little bit. It will be back, but just not right now. Should have a pretty calm, nice weekend. It will be cool and overcast, but fairly calm. And we got a slight chance of some snow on Sunday, but it is a very slight chance. I'll tell you more about that coming up in the full forecast.
Thanks, Andy. The U.S. Supreme Court rejected a bid from the Attorney General of Texas that was also supported by President Donald Trump and other Republican attorneys general to block the ballots of millions of voters. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton filed a lawsuit calling on the court to invalidate results in Michigan, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. Those are 4 battleground states won by Democrat Joe Biden. The suit claimed those states made changes to election law because of COVID-19 that created the possibility of irregularities in the vote. The court denied Texas's request on the grounds that it lacked standing and that Texas had not demonstrated, quote, a cognizable interest in the manner in which another state conducts its elections. Justices Alito and Thomas said they would have allowed the case to be filed, but would grant no other relief. Montana Governor-elect Greg Gianforte and outgoing Attorney General Tim Fox filed briefs in support of the lawsuit. Outgoing Governor Steve Bullock filed a brief asking the U.S. Supreme Court not to hear the case. A former oncologist at St. Peter's Health has filed a lawsuit against the regional health center regarding his dismissal. Dr. Tom Weiner alleges wrongful termination, breach of contract, violation of medical staff bylaws, and the hospital making defamatory and harmful statements about him. In court filings, he claims the hospital has been trying to force him out since 2016, when the medical staff supported a vote of no confidence in then CEO Nate Olson, and that the hospital is taking steps that could permanently harm his reputation and career, including possible filings of alleged conduct to the National Practitioner Data Bank and Montana Board of Medical Examiners. Weiner is suing for damages resulting from his dismissal. St. Peter's Health told MTN its attorneys are reviewing the allegations and deny any allegations of wrongdoing. In a letter from CEO Wade Johnson posted Monday, the hospital accused Weiner of harming patients with unnecessary treatments and failing to meet state and federal laws associated with the prescribing of narcotics. Dr. Weiner has denied any wrongdoing on his part. And it was a big day for the Montana Law Enforcement Academy. It was their 173rd graduation, plus the debut of millions of dollars in renovations to the campus. Renovations were made to areas like the cafeteria and dorms. Heating and ventilation systems, lighting, carpets, and paint were all upgraded through the Office of Consumer Protections, Settlements, and Other Funds. The Montana Department of Justice contributed $9.2 million to the renovation project. Attorney General Tim Fox toured the upgraded spaces today, and he said the renovation is an investment, giving candidates going through the Law Enforcement Academy the best route for success.
Very important because we want to maintain the best trained law enforcement officers in the country. And we've been able to do that, but these facilities are very old. They weren't originally made for this kind of training.
Before unveiling the renovations, 56 new officers graduated from the Montana Law Enforcement Academy. The graduates will now join tribal, state, county, and city departments across Montana. And starting next year, Montanans will need to dial 406 when calling any Montana phone number. The change is the result of the FCC approving 988 as the 3-digit number for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. With that ruling, the FCC is requiring any state with a prefix 988, so Dillon numbers here in Montana, must move to mandatory 10-digit dialing in order to avoid accidental calls to the lifeline. No one will need to change their number, and the mandatory 10-digit dialing will apply to the entire state. The FCC is encouraging people to start dialing 406 for any local call beginning in April. And after October 24th, 2021, 7-digit local calling will not work. And still ahead on the news at 6, what safety tips you need to know when doing your online shopping.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching MTN News at 6.
Welcome back to the news at 6. Thanks for spending some time with us this evening. The pandemic is forcing many Americans to ditch in-store shopping for online this holiday season, and experts say cyber criminals will be looking to take advantage of that. Now, there are some simple tricks you can do to protect your digital profile while searching for those perfect gifts. Asher Qureshi reports.
More than 50% of consumers say they will shop online this holiday season due to the pandemic. That spending is projected to account for more than $200 billion.
There is probably going to be more fraudulent use of online deliveries than we have seen before.
Neil Deswani is a cybersecurity expert at Stanford University and the author of Big Breaches: Cybersecurity Lessons for Everyone. He says COVID-related phishing scams spiked as soon as the pandemic hit, and with malware attacks, unencrypted data, and third-party breaches, there will likely be more this holiday shopping season.
Cyber criminals are very well aware of the current situation, and they are going to do everything they can to take advantage of it.
According to the FBI, cybercrime has increased by 400% this year, but there are things consumers can do to protect themselves. Consider identity protection services. These companies can monitor many data sources, including credit files, social media, and the dark web. Two-step verification. Enable two-factor authentication for every online account you have that offers it. And freezing your credit. Call the 3 major credit services and freeze your credit.
I think that your credit should be regularly frozen, except when you go about getting a new home mortgage or getting a car loan. You can always unfreeze it just before you do any of those activities.
Another vulnerability that Deswani says is important to pay attention to is your home router.
If you've bought your home router and you just hooked it up and you didn't say change the password on it, then attackers can take advantage of those commonly used default passwords and hack into your home router. And once they've done that, they can control anything and everything that you can see.
With increased remote working, learning, and online shopping, experts say a cyber pandemic could be the next catastrophic global event. Understanding your cyber risks and taking measures now could, they say, protect you in the long run. I'm Usher Qureshi reporting.
All right, and with another look at the weather, Andy Curtis.
It's going to be a cold one this weekend, but should be pretty, oh my. We'll try to finish the show in a professional manner when we come back. Welcome back, everybody. Andy Curtis filling in for Curtis Grevenitz tonight, who, if you were watching before the break, apparently is still in the building somewhere. He just ran through the shot, didn't give me any advice, so apparently my weather forecast is correct tonight. So that's good. I got the approval from the big man himself for you to pay attention to this. And I'm talking about temperatures dropping down across the state. It's cold out there right now, 23 degrees in Great Falls, and it's going to be a little bit cooler if you're going outside. It feels like 17 degrees, wind not too bad. Temperature will actually get a lot colder, relatively speaking. We're going to see a high in the high teens tonight for our high temperature across Great Falls and most of the state. Head down south, 25 degrees in the capital city, wind almost non-existent here as well. Feels like 18 degrees and a slight dusting of snow across not only the capital but Electric City and everywhere in between. Temperatures in the 20s, Havre up 26 degrees, 21 in Cut Bank. A little bit warmer, Kalispell looking at 30 degrees right now. So cooler tonight, as you could expect, cooler this weekend. And that snow that we're seeing out there right now, that's about as much as we're going to get for a little while, at least the rest of this weekend heading into the week. That is enough for there to be a winter weather advisory from right now until tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Helena, Great Falls, Cut Bank, Havre, Lewistown, all under that winter weather advisory. And it's not because we're going to be expecting blizzard conditions, but that little bit of snow that is falling could make for some questionable road conditions, could be blowing and temperatures dropping. You know the game. Going to be cold. Winter is here. Winter never went anywhere, but it's definitely here for this weekend, so be careful if you're driving anywhere. A little bit of wind, a little bit of weather out to the west, Portland, and just creeping up into Seattle. That will be making its way into our area. Will it manifest into any storms? It doesn't look like it right now, but down south, Denver was seeing a little bit more snow, still some snow on the radar around Colorado, and then out to the east, heading into the Midwest and the Great Lakes states, they're seeing some rain, snow, thunderstorms where it is appropriate. So weather across the country, but really nothing too extreme in our neck of the woods right now. Here's that snow that we all were seeing out there. As it continues to get closer to Saturday morning, that snow will start to disappear. So Saturday morning, early morning, so more Friday night into Saturday morning, still lingering around a little bit, but as we head into Saturday, late morning, early afternoon, things will start to clear up across the state. So not too bad of a Saturday. Calm, it'll be cold, but calm, and there'll be some sunshine to get out there and enjoy whatever kind of outdoor activity you like to do. Sunday, things will be a little gloomier, though. That snow possibly will come back in Sunday night into Monday, but at least what we're seeing right now, it should look very similar to the amount of snow that we're seeing out there. So just a light dusting I mean, maybe an inch or two in the valley at the most in the Helena area. Not really any snow to speak of if you're expecting a good downpour of some fresh powder to go skiing. This weekend isn't it. And just to reiterate my point, look, we're not seeing anywhere close to 2 inches. I mean, we're pushing the limits at 1 inch up in the mountains. So not a real snowy weekend, but more snow than we've been seeing, in the past couple of weeks. At least it makes it look like it's winter out there across Montana. Like I said, temperatures are going to drop down tonight into the teens. And it's going to be a cold one, but not as cold as we've seen. So we can at least be thankful for that. Cold nights, cold tomorrow. Temperatures are going to top out into the 30s and 20s depending on where you are. Great Falls, 34 for the high. That's snow on the early side of things tomorrow morning. Sunday, 30. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we're back in the warmer conditions. High 30s, low 40s. And then in Helena, just a little cooler, 29 for the high tomorrow, 29 on Sunday. Back into the 30s Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And like I said, it looks like it's going to be a pretty calm weekend.
Thanks for that, Andy. Coming up, during the pandemic, our world has become increasingly reliant on our devices and the digital world. How that screen time can impact your mental health.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching MTN News at 6.
Welcome back to the News at 6. Imagine what you could do with 114 days. Well, if you are the average kid in America, that is how much time you spend in front of a screen per year, according to the Kaiser Family Foundation. MTN's Phoenix O'Connor spoke with a clinical psychologist about what screen time does and what it means for your mental health.
Since the pandemic, parents face the decision going fully remote or a hybrid model of 2 days a week and 3 days remote learning. And then generally, when the class time is done, the screen time doesn't stop. Psychologists are saying too much screen time can be a negative impact on mental health.
For young adults in particular, kind of hours spent on the screen sometimes increase risk for depression.
Additionally, Dr. Ross says there are other negative factors as well.
Things like a decrease in creativity, of kind of problem solving because kids are so tuned into screen time.
As for preschoolers, excessive screen time could result in negative behavior.
And sometimes with increased screen time, they're actually more likely to be exhibiting, things like tantrums, difficulty regulating emotions. So those pieces come into play as well.
So to put that in perspective, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention says children from ages 8 to 18 years old spend an average of 6 hours in front of the screen each day. So what is a parent to do? The good old-fashioned go play outside is suggested. The CDC recommends at least 1 hour of physical activity each day. And when you are planning or doing an activity outside, while of course maintaining social distancing, the CDC says a mask is not required so that it doesn't compromise their breathing. For MTN News, I'm Phoenix O'Connor.
All right, and we'll wrap things up on the News at 6 when we come back.
From Montana's news leader, you're watching MTN News at 6.
Welcome back to the News at 6. Do not be surprised if you get a mask in your stocking this Christmas. A survey by market research firm NPD Group showed 3 in 10 people planned to give masks as a stocking stuffer this year. Nordstrom created an entire mask guide on its website in case you have questions about it. Children's clothing company Hannah Anderson says its holiday masks are so popular it added an adult line as well. Marketing experts say the masks have become a way for people to make a statement about themselves. Their favorite band or sports team might appear on their mask. I guess that's better than coal.
Take it, and I have been told I look better in a mask, so I expect to get a couple, and I'll showcase them right here on KTVH. Taking a look at the 7-day forecast as we head into the weekend. Going to be chilly the next couple of days in the Helena area, only topping out at a high of 29, but it should be calm for the most part. Really no wind to speak of, really no snow to speak of, so a calm, I'll say, pretty nice weekend just on the cold side. Things will warm up though as we head into the work week. Heading up into the 30s, pushing 40 on Wednesday. Up in Great Falls, just a little bit warmer, just as calm though. Snow expected to be sticking around into tomorrow morning, but temperatures in the 30s and then pushing 40 as we head into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
All right, and that does it for the news at 6. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back here tonight at 10 with your latest headlines and weather. We'll see you then.